My name is Tchoumba. I'm the Executive Director of Active Spaces and board member for AfriLabs. And Active Spaces is part of the consortium that formed the DIH in Cameroon, 237DT Innovation Lab. And what we focus on is digital trade. This consortium is made out of Active Spaces, Orange Digital Center, Cameroon Angels Network, and Catholic University. We brought these actors together to address the digital trade. One, Active Space is working for 10 years with entrepreneurs and building the ecosystem in Cameroon and beyond. Orange, because Orange has a platform, the knowledge, and has developed a variety of actually platforms that could facilitate digital trade. We brought a university in to also explore academia and also talent and skills, where we're bringing university student to work with the DIH to address the issue around digital trade. After working in the ecosystem for a number of years, we have some basic knowledge of what the ecosystem needs. And one of the pillars that we've identified is upskilling SMEs in the digital transformation. And this is one aspect that we strongly believe that will help the sector to grow. We've also thought about investment. One of the issues and one of the challenges of our ecosystem is money. Financing innovation and financing startups. And this is particularly the reason why the Cameroon Angels Network is part of our DIH, because we want to create a vehicle that will finance then the innovations that are going to be taking place within our DIH. And these are the way in which, so upskilling, investment, and innovation support through the incubator. And that's what we're going to do it. When we talk about innovation, not only innovation and technology, we can, if we are intentional about it, we can address issues around climate, especially even when we're talking about trade. We can address issues around climate, we can address issues around agriculture. The idea here for us is to bring in more partners. Within Cameroon that are already addressing these issues. For example, when we talk about SMEs, so we're not just talking about your traditional or your innovative or tech startup companies. We're talking about SMEs. We're talking about companies that are in the agriculture space. And what we want to do is to bring innovation to these companies. So imagine a farmer in the west region of Cameroon. What we're saying is, how can we help them in the digital transformation, and how can we actually give them access to market, because this is what it's all about. We're starting in Cameroon, but we're actually thinking of expanding perhaps to the Central African region, perhaps to the rest of Africa, because I think this is what the African Union and other partners are working in, addressing cross-border trade. And we think digital trade can facilitate that. In terms of DIH, we are at the very early stages. We've made some good progress. We've established these DIHs across the continent. So it's already good that the AEDIB Net program has come and facilitated some of that construction or co-construction. I think moving forward, what we need to start considering, one is, again, more partnership. How do we facilitate, how do we bring the actors together? How do we put the African Union on the same table with the DIHs in Africa and in Europe? And that conversation has already started, right? But we need to start, we need to be intentional, and we need to do more of them. We need to bring the actors. I'm thinking right now about Smart Africa. How do we bring in our DIH in Cameroon, how do we start conversation with Smart Africa to facilitate some of the conversation with the African Union and with the other actors that are playing within this game? So that is the conversation. The second thing after partnership, more partnership, is money. We need to finance this innovation. I always think that it is quite difficult to finance innovation, and we need people that believe in the 5, 10, 15 years kind of vision of where we're going, to start investing in the early stages of this DIH is being put together. So I believe partnership, more partnership, conversation. I believe financing innovation. What the AEDIB program has brought to our DIH in Cameroon has been framing our thinking and framing our philosophy and framing our thesis. What exactly we are going to do, how we're going to do it, and that is being put. So setting up the foundation for actually operating our DIH, and this has been a great help. Communicating with other DIHs, both in Africa and also in Europe, that has been very helpful, bringing us together to discuss, to exchange. In our particular example, yes, we did have a university as a partner, but I think the framing of the role of the university was not as powerful and as thought through. And this event today even has added more to how we are going to use the university partner in our DIH. So I think this has been a great experience. This has been a learning curve for us. And I think as we go back and continue to work on our DIH, it can only add value to what we'll bring to SMEs, startups, and our ecosystem in Cameroon.